The three of you awake in your crypto-sleep sarcophagi, stirred from slumber by an automated warning. A storm of micrometeorites has torn several breaches in your ship's hull and destroyed its Johnson Tanaka drive. Trapped in orbit above an unknown RimWorld, you must patch up your damaged ship and make long-term survival plans. Perhaps you can acquire resources by scanning for orbital sites. You could also send a shuttle down to the planet's surface to scout a potential landing site for your ship. One way or another, you will need to reinvent the technologies needed to properly repair it. Hello again everyone, we are Gaming by Gaslight and welcome back to RimWorld. We're starting a brand new series today, leaving our old RimVault series behind. Today we embark upon an interesting new adventure that blends a little bit of Save Our Ship 2, which is going to be one of the big highlights, I'm hoping, of this series, assuming we get back into space in a timely manner. But beyond that, we also have Altered Carbon, because you may recall me mentioning in that series that I'm pretty big fan of at least season 1 of the Netflix show, and it's based on a book that I have not read, but probably should at some point. And beyond that, yeah, a little bit of Metal Gear in here as well, because Metal Gear is pretty cool, and just seems kind of nice, really. So anyway, let's meet our crew and cast, shall we, for today's story. First off, we have Tara, a runaway sex slave, well, vat-grown herb-world sex slave, as it turns out, who is beautiful and kind, great at social and art, kind of passionate about cooking, and kind of got some average to sub-average, or what have you, in other skills. Can't do violent or intellectual, and also cannot synthesize drugs. It's not highlighted here. Well, actually, I think, yeah, it's mentioned more clearly here. That's kind of unfortunate, but, I mean, do we really need people to be making drugs? Probably not. Good person. Now, next up on our roster is Elliot Doc Knox, who probably has, just a little, disclosure-y thing. Only boss, who you'll clearly see in a second, was actually, like, prepared carefully. These other two, I actually randomly re-rolled, though I did kind of try to make them a little more distinct in their skin tones and hair tones and stuff like that. Because, damn it, this is a story. People have to pop, you know, against all the randomly generated pawns. But this is probably, like, the best medical combo I could have ever hoped for. So, you know, here we are. Hard worker and a sleever. Sleever here, of course, meaning that this is just a meat suit to him. He can swap it out whenever he wants, which, to be clear on what that means, this I had to dev mode in because I can't add a cortical stack in prepare carefully, or actually, as far as I can tell, I can't just start off with one of these. There's no starting option, sadly. Anyway, basically what this means is as long as your neck isn't what gets blown up when you die, you can pop one of these things out and pop it into some, you know, into a sleeve, or I guess into even just another human, which would probably be extremely immoral when I think about it, but you could totally do it. Basically, this just holds a backup of your consciousness. So, yeah, as long as this survives, so do you. And then last but not least, we have our boss, who, if you've watched certain previous series on the channel with RimWorld, you'll probably can see where this is going right off the bat. It's Abraham Jenkins again. You know, our super, overpowered guy, but, you know, he's old and decrepit, so all these overpowered stats are not quite as overpowered as they probably look right off the bat. I also nerfed him a little bit because I expect he's going to be overpowered faster than usual this time around. But yeah, he's an old, retired frontier sheriff who just seems to keep on getting into trouble. Anyway, yeah. Also another interesting thing, I actually, saved and reloaded this, because I've noticed with this mod, when starting on a ship, these guys, like, they can't move for whatever reason. At least not at first. Though, you're not gonna see that because I did take the time to, you know what, actually, let's just have Doc do it. Boss, you can just stand in place, because I don't want them to accidentally walk into space and get horrifically, horrifically, yeah, don't vomit into the suit. Probably too late, but... Oh, actually, they might have been okay. But our first order of business is going to be to locate... Okay. That's not terrible, actually. It's actually pretty good. And everyone's just, don't vomit into the food. Okay, here's another EVA suit. So let's get Boss into that, I think. And we want to locate the shuttle bay so we can get the heck out of here. And by that I mean we just need to drop at least one person. Okay, so we don't want to go into this room right here, unless somewhere on this ship. And there's a couple of different variations, it seems, that you can start in of ship. Some are better than others. Some actually don't have fuel. Oop, oh, boss, are you... Come on, wear your suit. Doc, you're gonna explore the ship. Hopefully find a third suit for Tara here, or Tara. Tara. However you want to pronounce her name. Ooh, okay. There are some holes here, but we could bring some... Oh, a heavy EVA suit. What's the difference? A pressure-sealed suit of powered armor designed to keep the occupant alive in outer space. Includes small thrusters for movement. Alright, okay. That's pretty good. Which means we can go out there in space a little bit better. And also it looks like we have found the shuttle bay. So that's kind of handy. However... And pawns aren't actually smart enough to figure this out on their own, so I don't expect poor Tara... You know, that was the what was I doing there? Though I guess I could just mark the rooms that have, turn both of these into stockpile zones. I'm gonna let Boss start hauling stuff. I don't want him to be... Let's start by hauling the EVA suits, shall we? That way Tara can have one. And I'm gonna try to keep Tara in, where are you going, Doc? Okay. So let's check out the other rooms. There's actually one variant of this that spawns, with, like a full-on, like, shuttlecraft rather than just these little personal pods. Not these pods are bad, mind you. Oh, wow. This one actually spawns, one that's at full, Oop. Just want to uninstall these. Because we actually only need 2 available right from the get-go. Make everyone super high priority for these things, and we'll figure everything else out later. And you know, I'm gonna make that normal priority for you. I'm gonna make an attempt to do something I've never done before, which is to actually not have like everything at 1. I'm gonna try to keep everything to start at 3, and then we'll kind of move it a little. Though I'm starting to wish there was a 5, because then you know if 3 is the middle, then 4, 5, and then not at all, and then 2, 1. Anyway, but yeah, this should, once you're done hauling, I'll get him to uninstall those. That way we only work on fueling these up. And let's see what the rest of the damage to the ship is. Just so we know what we're working with. How the heck do I even get into this room? It's probably in here. Yeah, because there's like a gap there. Alright. A lot of fuel, though. That's kind of handy, actually. But there's one starting variant that actually... Oh, there it is. That has hull foam canisters, and the really handy thing about those, of course, is that you can use them to patch the holes. You know, that way at least we don't have to worry about the ship. Yeah. Don't need to worry about stuff draining on us, as it were. And you know what? I actually kind of like what we've got going on here. And I am going to, in fact... Let's say preferred. We'll turn off everything to start with, and then we're going to... Oh, what is it under? Manufactured? Yeah, there it is. Okay. So we want to store chem fuel in here. And just to make sure. Oh, okay. Didn't quite work the way I was expecting it to. Paste. Paste. I was kind of hoping that if I just double-clicked, it would select all of these, but that did not happen. Alright, and we'll say, hey, no chem fuel in here. Because that way we're just automatically sorting out any possibility of stuff exploding. Or at least when stuff inevitably has a possibility of exploding, it'll do so somewhere more reasonable, I guess. What are you doing, Doc? Refueling. That's all well and good. But actually, you know what? Once you're done with that, let's prioritize uninstalling these. Alright, so yeah, this is, oh, Tara, you're putting on, Jenkins' cool stuff. I'd actually like you to get an EVA suit on yourself. The hat is cool, no doubt about that, but, now may not be the time. I also kind of like these auto-eject, things, so if the ship blew up, anyone in these would get rocketed out into space. And you're just kind of standing there now. Is it because there's literally nothing for you to do? Oh, or maybe the AI is smart enough to realize, hey, you might actually blow up if you go out there. And by blow up, I of course mean die horribly. Weren't one of you supposed to bring... You know what? What are you doing? Haul all this stuff in, and then we're going to patch up... Oh, there goes Tara. What are you doing, Tara? Breathable. Okay, so we are inside. Vacuum. That's what I was worried about. Oh, jeez. No, God, why? And that's what I was worried about. Okay. Yeah, when you're done with that, just haul the EVA suit, okay? Tara needs to not die. That would be great. That would be really great. It is very cold in here. Minus 57 degrees. Cold as a witch's mitt, as they say. Excuse me, did I? Oh, he already hauled it in. I'm just an idiot. That's okay. It happens. Anyway, I think the goal at this point... Oh god, this episode's been going on far longer than I would have preferred, to be honest with you. And by preferred, I mean, like, this portion. I would have expected us to be back on terra firma by now. But as we can see, that is unfortunately for us not happened. However, we can now pretty safely patch up the ship. I want to haul everything in, excuse me. And then we're going to want to find a place to set up. Alright, good. So now I can safely patch up all the holes. There we are. And that should also start letting it warm up in here. So at the very least, if nothing else... Oh, almost forgot. There we go. So at least we'll have beds for everybody. We won't have to sleep in our EVA suits in minus 100 degrees Celsius space. Oh boy. Now who do I want to send down to the surface here? I guess it depends on how long we intend to be there. Let's look at the world. We'll generate the planet again. Just because, like I said, we had to load things in. Tundra. That's always cool. Also, for reasons I'm not entirely sure, this is an example of some, like, weird mod behavior here. Yeah, it's like spawned 100 million different savage tribes. Despite me clearly saying I wanted no tribes in, there's probably something where it's like, oh, you know, you don't have enough, different types of tribes, so we're just gonna throw a bunch of savage tribes at you. Anyway, I'm not happy about that, honestly, but, that's life. And where do we want to land? My ideal landing place would be one of these alpine meadows from the more vanilla biomes, or just more biomes. Whatever the mod's called, because it basically is everything I would have ever wanted. It's cold in the winter. Well, actually, that's much warmer than I would have hoped for. That's still much warmer than I would have hoped for. Ooh. You know what? That's probably good enough. That has granite. That's much better. All right, so where is this? Get an idea. We're near the Dolphin Foot Puddle. No friendly factions nearby. You know what I should have just done? Just spawn no factions, and then once I actually landed, then loaded a new game and spawned all the factions around me. That's what I should have done. Anyway. Okay, here's the plan. So we're going to get Doc and Boss, once Boss gets his gun. They're going to land. And they're going to be our landing party. Tara's going to stay aboard the ship, where it's relatively safe. And there we go. Just get in there. The ship is, again, fully patched up. You could probably store other stuff in these rooms as well. Just anything that might be volatile, I guess. Alright, so these are set up. We can now launch ourselves. The Dolphin Foot Planes, that's what I was looking for, wasn't it? I mean, I can find that. Oh god, I'm not going to be able to find it. Oh boy. That could go over here. You know what? But actually, I could just land in the desert. But I want to land near other faction bases, even though I hardly ever actually, that's extreme desert, I'm pretty sure. Though then again, next to the water. Kinda tempting. And I can't find it. Ah, boy. The Det Hills, the Cobrakin Swamp, Roundfoot Forest, Black Rabbit Forest. Ah, boy. Lake Whitarsier. Oh, there it is. There we go. That's the good stuff. Wait, which one of these was I going to land on? I have already forgotten. I think it was over here. A little ways away, but we can build a road, and eventually we're going to be able to fly all over the place anyway, so... There we go. Close enough, I guess. Slate and granite. That is where pretty sure that's where I set us. Just small hills, so it should be a nice open area that we can drop the ship on. And meanwhile, we'll let Tara just kind of work at cleaning things. And also, let's go to the medical tab here. And what is this? Self-tend. Why do I not have self-tend? Because you are not enabled to doctor. There we go. What is this? Bleeding. Sort by this column. Sort by this column. This is very handy. Very handy stuff. Alright, back to the world. I didn't mention that I dev moded in everyone to have cortical stacks because I couldn't find an option to just start us off with those regularly, right? Pretty sure I mentioned that, but just in case I didn't, that's what we did. Where the heck did we get food from? Who's carrying food? Oh, you guys brought some survival mules. All right. Though we didn't bring enough fuel to get back into space in case things go horribly wrong. So that's, you know, that's going to be a problem. Also, let's quickly scroll through these. You can like play this at like a quarter speed to see all the mods we're using. And as long as I don't forget, I should actually at some point set down a link to a Steam Workshop collection of all the mods as well. But just in case I forget for a while, you know, at least there'll be some way to look at what I'm doing. Boss, go ahead and equip your sidearm, would you? Okay. Well. Oh, that was a barn at one point. I'm seeing a lot of trees. Not strictly a bad... I don't even have to actually wake Tara up. I can just say, hey, land the ship. The problem, of course... Yeah, it's all red. Is I can't land it... Now, I have discovered I could actually land it in a mountain. And that's probably where the Z level mod would come in handy, because then I could just, you know, maybe build up a couple of levels and there'd be a nice open flat stone area. But it looks like what I'm actually going to need to do is chop a landing zone. I don't really want to calculate how many trees I'm going to have to cut, so I'm just going to go from here. Well, I should try to land us as close as possible to this, because then we can be sure that, yeah, we'll have something. Alright, so we're gonna set that. We're gonna make sure everyone can mine. Make you max mine. And you're gonna be like super high priority plant cutting. And we're gonna figure this one out. And we're also gonna put a stockpile for all of our stuff right over here. Alright, so we're gonna cut down as much as we need. Clear the bushes, everything. Hopefully get these boomalopes out of here. And I think that's where we're gonna wrap things up. We've got a lot of work ahead of us if we want to land this ship. So, yeah, until the next time, as always, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to hit that like button, or maybe leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking, and I will see all you in the next video.